And welcome back, Hasky here with another music note guide for Banjo Kazooie. This is Rusty Bucket Bay, and we're on the final stretch. Just 2 more levels before we have collected all of the music notes in the game. At the end of the Mad Monster Mansion video, I said that I kind of think that this might be the hardest level to collect all of the music notes on, and that's my story. I'm going to stick to it. There's at least one area, at least one room on this stage that consistently kills me every time I'm trying to collect the music notes on it. And that, of course, is the engine room. We'll be talking about that, of course, a little bit later on. But also the water. The water is unique on this stage where I guess it's oily or something, and you lose air even when you're swimming on the surface. So you kind of have to always be aware of where your ladders are, where your escape route is. So that's a little bit different, but those are both things that we will touch on as we move along. Just grabbing a few notes in this first room here. You gain access to this one and, I think 2 others using these tubes. I think these are supposed to be air vents. I think these are a real thing on boats, but what do I know? You kind of got to be careful because these enemies here are disguised as the same tubes, so if you run up to them too fast, they'll munch on you. An easy way to tell which is which, whether or not they're enemies or just entrances to an area, is what I do is I look at the color inside their mouths or their tubes. The enemies have orange interiors, and it's pretty easy to see from far away. If you're not sure, just kind of sneak up on it, kind of walk up slowly to it. Its eyes and teeth will appear, and you'll know right away which is which. Alrighty, getting close to the infamous engine room now. We're going to be flipping this switch that'll allow us to navigate that room a little bit easier. Got to shut those fans off so you can jump through and hopefully not die. I'd probably recommend to anyone collecting music notes on this stage, you should probably do the engine room first. I've had some trouble with it before. In fact, while I was recording this video, it's been years since I recorded this footage. I know it's kind of weird, but this was recorded back in 2017. It's now 2021. I still remember the evening that I was doing this. I was my patience was wearing thin, and I may have also been a little hammered. But don't let that distract you. Keep in mind, I'm gonna rip through this just because I'm sick of this area. So here I go. Don't play it like this. Take your time. There's 12 notes in the back part of the room. You have to jump over these rotating tubes. I don't know what these are supposed to be. Wait for them to stop. Wait for them to come to a complete stop before trying to run across them. Don't do that. Don't do that. One little thing here that seriously, joking aside, I think being in the Talon Trot ability, being on Kazooie, I think is probably the better way to make that jump. You move faster when you're using Kazooie, right? So it's like you spend less time in the danger zone of that fan. So if you're trying to just like jump through as Banjo and you're having trouble, and you keep getting hit by that fan, you keep falling down and starting all the way over, man, that's frustrating. Try doing it with Kazooie instead. That faster movement speed, like I said, you get through there, you get in and out, and I kind of think it might help a little bit. But anyway, yeah, it's probably not the best example of how to do that area. I'd probably play that a little bit differently if I were to re-record this footage today. But anyway, now that we're past that, we can kind of relax a little bit. That was the big difficult part of this level, in my opinion. The only other dangerous thing is the water. We haven't yet swam in any water in Rusty Bucket Bay yet. But yeah, it's all murky and oily or whatever, and when you're swimming along the surface, you don't, I guess, breathe like in any other bodies of water in Banjo Kazooie. You'll continue to have your air gauge tick away, and you'll actually drown even on the surface. So, haven't talked about the windows at all yet. Yes, some of the windows on the Rusty Bucket are breakable, and unfortunately, I kind of feel like the windows on the boat are pretty difficult to spot, which are breakable and which are not. That is, it's not like Mad Monster Mansion where there's a lit room behind the breakable window. you can easily see on Mad Monster Mansion which windows are breakable. On Rusty Bucket Bay, the breakable windows and the unbreakable windows look pretty dang close to the same thing. They do look a little bit different, and the way I usually tell is by the thickness of them. The unbreakable windows are just sort of a two-dimensional decal on the wall. It's just like a flat texture, right? There's no thickness to it. Whereas the breakable ones, there's thickness to it. There's depth, and you can especially see that depth if you're kind of looking down the ship, not like directly at a wall, but kind of along the wall, down the wall. You can pretty easily see which ones are the breakable ones. But if you can't really spot the difference, it's just kind of going to be one of those things where you have to check each one. It sucks. But luckily there's not too many. Is it just 2 rooms? Pretty sure it's just 2 rooms. 2 rooms that you enter via window. So I think the other one was the bridge, wasn't it? Which, of course, is at the front of the ship. I don't know. I guess I'm realizing I don't know a whole lot about the anatomy of boats. Anyway, moving on. Gonna go ahead and climb up here onto these smokestack things and collect the final music notes on the ship itself. I didn't point out that I sort of routed this to collect all the music notes on the ship first, and that kind of leaves the music notes on the sort of the perimeter of the level. I don't really think I had much of a reason for that. That's just kind of how I planned it. You could do it any other way. Whatever is easiest for you. This is what was easiest for me. I'm gonna jump off here from the very top of the map and plunge into the water for the first time. Now, it doesn't look like I spend a whole heck of a lot of time in the water for this little bit right here. But yeah, keep in mind, like I said, you lose air even while on the surface of the water. I think I've said that 3 times, sorry about that. But also, one thing I'd like to point out that maybe not everyone knows is when you are underwater in Rusty Bucket Bay, you lose air twice as fast as normal. So not only can you not breathe on the surface, but being underwater is... You'll run out of air really quickly. So don't try to swim on the surface when you can. Only dive underwater when you really need to, and always keep an idea of where the ladders are that will get you out of the water. There's quite a few ladders around the outer perimeter of the level. Pretty much any time I've ever been like, hey, I need to be getting out of the water now, I look up and there's a ladder there usually. However, if you're doing this for the first time and you're not feeling very confident or very safe out in the water, just before you hop in, take a look around, find out where the nearest ladder is, and just keep an idea of where that is as you're swimming around. And if you ever feel like you need to do a U-turn, get out of there. It's like it's not really a big deal. Just get out, get your air back, like get your bearings, and then dive back in. Alrighty, just about done with the water areas now, if you can believe it. It's actually kind of funny how little you really need to be in the water when you know exactly where you're going. When you're playing this for the first time, and also when you're getting jigsaw pieces and the Jinjos and what have you, you'll probably be spending a lot more time in the water, a lot more exploring in the water. But if you're just doing music notes like we are here, yeah, not a whole lot. Gonna go ahead and extend this bridge, and we will begin running around the outside of this area, the map. Be careful on this spot right here. Falling inside this cage will, of course, spawn Snacker. Sharks are no fun when you're collecting music notes. And this is actually quite funny right here. This pool of green goo, this no doubt highly radioactive sludge. For the longest time, I actually thought that if you were to fall into that, I thought you were killed instantly. And I actually earlier today I loaded up a save state for this game, and yeah, no, it's just like, I don't know, hot sand or something like that. It just hurts you, and then you can kind of run around with those iframes. But yeah, no, that was always a super scary spot for me. I think there was a Jinjo over there too. So yeah, whenever I'd go to that spot to collect the music notes and collect the Jinjo, I always thought I was jumping over an area that would kill me if I screwed up, which was pretty stressful. And it's just funny that after all these years, I didn't know what I was talking about at all. And wow, look at this. We're already at 90 notes. And the rest of the notes are just in the other shipping container. This video is over already. Crazy. So yeah, as I grab these last couple of notes, we will wrap up our Rusty Bucket Bay music note guide video, and we will set up to do Click Clock with the final level of our Banjo Kazooie music note guide. I said already that I thought that Rusty Bucket Bay was probably the hardest level to collect music notes on, and of course I say that because of that engine room, but Click Clock Wood is pretty tough as well. It's such a massive area. There's so many places to look for music notes on, or in, and lots of advanced platforming, if you will. You're way up in that tree, jumping from ledge to ledge, platform to platform, and if you fall, you're falling a really long way, and it could end your run just like that. So stay tuned for that video. It'll be coming out real soon. I appreciate you hanging out and watching the video. Please consider leaving it a like if you found it helpful. I hope you found those notes you were still looking for, and I will see you in the next video.